This is my last field assignment on emotional intelligence. And for the stranger that I had a conversation with, he actually picked me. I walked into a restaurant with a couple of my friends. My friends ordered the food, but this guy asked where we were from, and they really think Americans are interesting. So I struck up a conversation with him, and I wanted to talk to him because my goal going to Spain was to talk as many foreign people as I could and learn about them. And then we talked about where we were from, which he didn't know where I was from because he only knows where New York and New Jersey are. But he was from France, and we talked about how he learned to speak English, and I don't know any other languages, so I thought it was cool how he knew two different languages, and that he learned them from by watching TV shows. And I love TV, so we kind of had a common interest there. But he said the TV shows that he watches, they're all English. They're all American TV shows. He watched Dexter and One Tree Hill, and we really struggled with One Tree Hill because in France they call it the Scott Brothers, and of course we had no idea what he was talking about. But so that was kind of cool, and that he turns it to French, so they speak French, but then he puts on the American subtitles. So that's how he kind of improves his English a little bit and learns new things. He seemed relaxed, but then again, he also, he's not completely fluent. He struggles a little bit sometimes when he was speaking English. So, he did have there was a couple awkward pauses, or sometimes I was struggling to figure out what he was trying to say. So that was kind of hard sometimes. We each kind of made eye contact a lot because I was really trying to pay attention to what he was saying. But then again, whenever he didn't make eye contact, it was when he was searching for a thought, or searching for what to say, and then he'd use his hands a lot when he was struggling of trying to get his point across. I could tell when he disagreed or agreed or whatever, because he shook his head a lot. So if you would say something and he was yes, when we were struggling with the Scott Brothers situation, when we were One Tree Hill, he was yes, he kept shaking his head. And I realized that a lot of foreigners there in Spain, they all shake their head a lot. So that's when I really knew he agreed. And then he'd always shake his hand like this when he was no, no, no. He did that a lot. He had a lot of nonverbal cues, but that was because, he didn't know English. I feel like it's because he didn't know English very well, so, he kind of talked with his hands a lot. He used a lot of gestures, when he was, talking like this. But, and then my own nonverbal cues, I didn't notice them at the time, but, after reading that question, thinking about it, I do make a lot of facial expressions. And sometimes I can talk with my hands, but I do a lot with my eyebrows and my eyes. So, I think they're important because it really shows what the person's actually feeling. Anybody can say anything, but I feel your nonverbal cues, you can almost not control your body. Sometimes your body kind of does its own thing. So, when you're talking, sometimes your eyes, do whatever they want, right now, shoot. But, it's kind of crazy to think that, you can be talking, but, your eyes are doing something else, or, you just kind of, your body just kind of goes with it. Whether it, it's agreeing with what you're saying or not. It's very hard to control your body while you talk, and I feel your nonverbal cues really tell the person that you're speaking to a lot about what you think about the subject, your feelings and emotions towards that subject. What I can apply to emotional intelligence to leadership, I think it's important to know a lot about the nonverbal cues. Anybody can talk to anybody, but if you pay attention to those things, you can really understand a person. I think understanding a person is very important as a leader. You need to get others' opinions. You need to be able to talk to people. You need to be able to put yourself out there and be vulnerable. But then again, you need to, be a good listener. Don't interrupt anybody. And those nonverbal cues, you can really learn a lot by, what the other person's feeling. You can always get a gist of, what they want, whatever. But understanding emotions, understanding, everything else and how they're feeling, that's important as a leader. And it helps, keep the conversation going and, get down to their level, if they're upset or anything, you can grasp, those little things by, their facial expressions or their, maybe their fist clench up, they're mad or something. It can really help you, and, this helps you work on respect. You're talking to them, you respect that, they're talking, don't interrupt. But also, just by showing your understanding, your listening, it shows you that you care, and, you're just respecting, hey, they respect what I'm saying, they respect my opinion, they respect all of that. So I think, nonverbal cues, just paying attention, and, that all goes into, being a leader, and it can really help you as a leader working with your teammates and your peers and everything like that. So, thank you, and that's the end of my video.